A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That will tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just... Current assignment. What assignment? Bess and I are flying to New Orleans for a Hello? Anybody here? Hi, the door was open.
Here, drink this.
What is it?
Something that'll make you feel better. Drink it. Just a couple sips.
Okay.
That's it.
No offense, but yuck.
Don't make her drink any of your weirdo concoctions. Then I really will have to take her to the emergency room.
You just go back to your phone call and leave us be. Don't pay him any mind.
Where am I?
You're at Henry Bolet's house, dear, in the library. He and I carried you in here after I found you unconscious in the foyer.
Why is it so dark in here?
The electricity went out. Lightning must have struck a transformer somewhere. What happened? Can you remember?
Well, the front door was open, so I walked in, and then I saw I saw a skeleton. And then he saw me. And then the light started flickering, and he threw something at me that exploded. Oh, the smoke must have made me pass out.
You saw a skeleton?
I'm sure it was just someone, wearing a costume or something. I'm Nancy Drew, by the way. I came to see Henry.
So we surmised. I'm Renee Amand. I'm Bruno Bolet's housekeeper. That is, I was. This skeleton that attacked you, perhaps we should call the police.
No emergency room, no police. Things are complicated enough as it is.
Henry's feeling a mite overwhelmed. Well, you are looking much better, so I'm gonna get back to my plant potting. You need anything? I'll be outside in the garden.
I should call them and keep them on hold for 5 hours and see how they like it.
So, Nancy, nice to meet you. Ned sent you here to check up on me, huh?
He's kind of worried about you, that's all.
Ned's a nice guy. I mean, I really don't know him that well, just from school. But when I mentioned that my only living relative just died, he was all like, "Yeah? How you feeling, man? You doing okay? Wanna talk?" Of course, I guess I do come across as a little needy sometimes.
You look pretty busy.
Great Uncle Bruno named me executor of his estate, which means I have to make sure all his bills are paid and debts taken care of so his assets can be distributed. Unfortunately, he couldn't have cared less about little things like keeping records or balancing checkbooks. Dealing with his creditors and their lawyers has been an absolute nightmare.
He made you his executor? You two must have been close.
Not really. My parents died in a car crash when I was 8. Since I had no other relatives, he took me in, or should I say he shipped me out. Boarding school, summer camp, military school, college. He may have looked after me, but he never spent any time with me. I didn't know him at all. So, thanks for stopping by, Nancy. And now you can report back to Ned that I'm fine and go enjoy New Orleans.
No, I can't. Not until I know who that skeleton man was and what he was doing here and why he knocked me out like that. Look, I can understand you're not wanting to call the police, but somebody should investigate. And since playing detective is kind of a hobby with me...
No offense, but are you sure you didn't just pass out from the heat and humidity or something and dream that you saw the skeleton dude?
I'm positive.
Okay, look around all you want. But I should probably warn you, Uncle Bruno was into exotic pets. Didn't believe in cages, so he gave him the run of the place. And just because he's dead doesn't mean they are. So if you're gonna go poking around, be careful.
That's the front door, but I'm not leaving until I figure out what Mr. Skeleton Man was up to.
Nancy, welcome to my little lantern-lit corner of the world.
It's a little wet out here.
I don't mind. No one should mind the rain. Without it, the end of the world would come much too soon. Did you and Henry have a nice chat?
We talked.
Henry's a very morose, very negative young man. Very cunning, too. In fact, I'm fairly certain that he's been selling off Dr. Bolay's belongings on the sly.
Won't all of Dr. Bolay's belongings go to Henry anyway?
Absolutely not. According to Dr. Bolay's will, Henry is to get 30% of the estate. Dr. Bolay's physician, Gilbert Buford, gets 30%. Our Lady of Route 57 School of Dentistry and Cosmetology gets 30%. And I am to receive 10%.
What was in that concoction you wanted me to drink after I got knocked out?
Never you mind. It was just a little remedy I brewed up on the spot to help you feel better.
If you don't like Henry that much, how come you're still here?
I'm here because Dr. Bolay paid me in advance, and I always fulfill my obligations.
Have you ever seen this before? I found it by that scale model of the cemetery that's inside the house.
It's a mystery to me. I suggest you ask Henry. He leaves things lying around all the time. I guess it figures I won't notice amid all the other clutter. But I do. I notice everything. How else may I be of service to you?
Why is there an empty frame in the gallery inside?
That is a very good question. I first noticed the canvas was missing after the reception following Dr. Bolay's funeral. But as for why it was missing, I do not know.
If you don't mind my asking, what's in that little pouch you wear around your neck?
Things. Secret things. Things that give me special talents when special times demand them. People usually laugh when I say this, but this pouch is my connection to the energy that powers the universe.
Oh,
Well, at least you didn't laugh.
I'd better get going.
One more thing. I, too, have seen the skeleton man. After Dr. Bolay passed, that night, I saw him in the hallway. He was there, then he was gone. So you best be careful, Nancy Drew, because if it was Mr. Death, and I truly think it was, he's come back.
That should keep you guys quiet for a while. Your great-uncle really had a thing for glass eyes, didn't he?
Yep, wore a glass eye for as long as I can remember. Had a whole collection of them. Liked to wear a different color every day. Yes?
Is your great-uncle's estate worth very much?
I have no idea, nor will I until I get all his affairs settled. He was a dentist for most of his life, so he must have had some money squirreled away. As you can tell, he was darn good at squirreling away junk.
Have you had any of his things appraised?
Somebody from a curio shop came in and took a quick look around, but it wasn't anything formal.
I found this scrap of paper in the fireplace. Do you know anything about it?
No. You always go digging around in people's fireplaces?
Just looking for something that might tell me who that skeleton man was.
Ah. Anything else?
Renee says she noticed the canvas for one of the paintings in the gallery was missing shortly after Bruno died.
So she says. All I know for sure is that it's gone. It was of my parents. I think it was painted in the garden out back. Renee doesn't like me. Wouldn't surprise me if she took it out of spite.
Why is there a model of a cemetery in the other room?
Hello? Nancy?
Hey, Ned.
It's about time you called. Did you make it to New Orleans okay?
Yep.
Have you seen Henry?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that. Is he okay?
He's fine. Well, he's the executor of his great-uncle Bruno's estate, which he's not real happy about. But he and his great-uncle weren't that close, so he's not grief-stricken or anything.
Well then, are you okay?
Other than being attacked on my way into Henry's house by a skeleton wearing a red ascot and getting knocked out by the smoke bomb he threw at me, I'm fine too.
What?
Let's just say that I've stumbled onto a mystery, and I'm not leaving till I solve it.
Why am I not surprised? Is Bess with you?
No, I told her I'd meet her back at the hotel.
So tell me about this skeleton man.
Well, it was someone in a costume, obviously. He or she was leaning over something in the great room when I walked in and surprised them.
So they threw a smoke bomb at you and ran?
Yeah, I must have interrupted whatever they were doing.
What were they leaning over?
A scale model of the cemetery next door. Henry says his great-uncle Bruno made it so he could keep track of who was buried there. Apparently, Bruno used to oversee the cemetery. And right near the scale model, I found a tracing of some kind of symbol. I'm thinking maybe Skeleton Man dropped it.
Why would Skeleton Man be interested in the scale model of a cemetery?
Good question. Maybe I'll take a real good look around in there and see if I can find out.
Good idea.
I'm still trying to figure out how you got to be friends with Henry.
Well, we're not best friends or anything. Heck, we're not really even friends. I just feel sorry for the guy. I mean, he never hangs out with anyone between classes, and when I'd heard there'd been a death in the family, I just wanted to make sure he was okay all by himself down there.
Don't worry, he's fine. A little strange, maybe, but fine.
That's good to hear.
You know, you're a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, I know.
Right after Henry's great-uncle Bruno died, someone stole one of the paintings from his gallery. Just took the canvas and left the frame.
Anything else missing from the house?
I don't think so. At least no one has said anything. Of course, the only people here are Henry and Bruno's housekeeper, Renee. And this house is so full of stuff. Even if something else was missing, it would be ages until anyone noticed.
You think the missing painting ties in with your skeleton man somehow?
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how it ties in, but my gut feeling is there's some kind of relationship between the two.
Well, if there is, I'm sure you'll find it.
Bruno Bolet's housekeeper, Renee, is still here, despite the fact that she and Henry don't really get along that well.
Why do you think she's staying on?
She says it's because Bruno paid her in advance.
But you don't believe her.
10% of Bruno's estate is supposed to go to her, only she thinks Henry's been selling off Bruno's assets on the sly. So it wouldn't surprise me if she's staying on so she can keep tabs on him.
How much of Bruno's estate is Henry supposed to get?
30%.
That's a pretty healthy chunk. He wouldn't be selling stuff on the sly. This Renee person sounds kind of paranoid.
What this Renee person is freaky.
In what way?
She wanted me to drink some strange-looking concoction after I passed out from the smoke bomb, but she refused to tell me what was in it. And she wears this weird little pouch around her neck. Says what's inside it connects her to the energy that powers the universe.
She's probably harmless, but stay on her good side, just in case.
That's about it.
Great hearing from you. Keep it up.
I will. Talk to you soon.
You'd better. Bye.
Hello?
Bess, hi, it's me.
Hey, Nance. I just got back from shopping, which I am happy to report is fantastic here. So, what's going on with you?
A lot.
A lot is in a whole bunch of fun stuff?
Let me start by telling you what happened when I arrived at Henry's house. I walked up to the front door and discovered it was open. So I walked in.